Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Bourbon Neophyte on a rainy Sunday night here in Las Vegas. Well, so far, so good. I don't know if you can hear some of the rain coming through, or excuse me, I should say coming down, the noise coming through the window. I have the window open. And so far, so good. The internet is stable. I'm watching my upload speed here. Seems to be hovering above 200, so we are good right now. Just had some spotty internet issues, and I'm going to assume it was because of the rain. But, you know, I can't tell if it was outside here or somewhere else along the street. But it's just been raining off and on, and just got an update that the tropical storm that is right now going through California is going to just skirt Las Vegas. So, like Bakersfield, and maybe just inch in a little more towards us. So we're going to get some of the bands, but they have changed the report that it is not going to be as bad as they were anticipating. And so we're just going to keep our fingers crossed, but it is going to be a rainy evening off and on. I can tell you when I was up at camp, it started raining last night, and it was just a fine, light rain. And I just sat out there until about 10 p.m., just listening to that light rain fall on the leaves. And it was a nice, cool evening. And then it picked up a bit during the night and rained most of the night. When I got up this morning, it was raining steadily up there. And the forecast for down here wasn't anything thrilling. So, that being said, we decided to pack things up and head home. And so far, it's been so good. So, we just have to see, because as you all know, in a tropical storm, some of those bands that come through can get pretty wicked. But so far, Las Vegas is doing okay. And by all reports, like I said, it is going to be just fine here. But you just never know. But anyway, that is the latest that I know. Like I said, I got little blurbs going through across the bottom on the screen. I'm watching another one up here on the monitor right now, but I'm also keeping an eye on that internet. So we're going to see how it goes here the next hour, and we're going to just play it by ear. Well, I really appreciate everybody being here with me tonight, and it's kind of a relaxed night because I wasn't really sure what was going to happen or how things were going to unfold. So I said, well, we'll just have a little tropical storm watch party / whiskey review / open pub. Just sit back and enjoy the rest of the evening here, and just have a nice quiet little talk. So I don't know what you guys are pouring, but I just figured, since it was a stormy evening, or was supposed to be a stormy evening, I thought a little Talisker Storm would be fitting for tonight. Prior to this, though, I had opened up and sampled some more out of my Johnny Walker Celebratory Blend, which is an excellent drop at 51 ABV, if I recall correctly, without grabbing that bottle. But tonight I'm going to go ahead and pour a little Talisker Storm here in the old my gosh, in the old glass. What am I thinking of here? And I'm using my Golden Glen. Uh, as you all know, Whiskey Nose is a little under the weather. Apparently, my report is he came down with COVID. So, doing good, the smell thing, the taste thing is still a little off for him. I personally haven't reached out and text him, but he had some substitutes in for him on Friday night for his weekend, get ready for the weekend stream. And, but he's doing okay. He popped in there. He was in chat, just letting everybody know he's doing well. Gosh, I love the smell on this thing. Let me just pour a little bit in the Glen here. Okay, I lied. There's a good 1.5 ounces, 2 ounces in there. Oops, that's all right. Let me put that lid back on there. But more importantly, I'm going to let that sit a moment. Put my little Glen cap on my Golden Glen and just let that thing just swirl a bit. And thanks to Whiskey Nose, that's where I got this Glen from. It's hard to tell, but I can tell you that's his moniker on there, Whiskey Nose. But anyway, let's see all's here. Well, I know Faz is here, and I've seen Chris, and I know Mr. Morgan's here. Oh, there's one I got to say cheers to because he's here. Mr. Reynolds, always great to see you. Mike, thank you for popping in. Brian, I did see you here. Mr. Jiggs, cheers. Great having you all here. And, of course, New Zealand is in the house. Cheers, Faz. Thank you for stopping in. And then, of course, the one and only Deathless Dogs, Dan. Hope everything is fine. Give old Egg Roll a pat on the head for me. Mr. Emanecker, always a pleasure, man. Thank you for popping in. Andrew, what is up, brother? Nice to see you. I know it was pretty ominous over on your side of town whenever I stepped outside about a half hour, 45 minutes ago and looked over there. It was pretty darn dark your way, but the rain just subsided over here on the northwest where I'm at. Hey, Stacy, cheers. I just looked down there from chatting with Andrew and realized you were here. Thank you for staying up late over there in the great state of Ohio. Always wonderful to have people like that stay here. Z-Man, cheers. Yeah, raining in Arizona finally. I figured it had been raining already. I know my father down in Yuma, it's been raining down there. So I kind of figured it pushed up your way a long, long time ago. Long time ago. Brian, cheers. Bourbon School's here. Thank you for popping in. And do me a favor, people. While you're here, do not forget to smash that like button. And if you are new here, when you smash that like button, make sure you subscribe to the channel and click on that bell so you do get notifications that when we pop on here, you know it. Eric, cheers, man. Thanks for coming on over here today. And Richie, always great to see you. How's everything going over in California? I know when I briefly spoke to Independent Joe, he said it was a steady rain, but nothing terrible on his side of town. Has it slowed down at all for you over there? Hey, there he is. Anybody catch Pinch Hitter stream today? That was a great stream, and not because I won the samples, although they will go to a person that is going to enjoy them, guaranteed. But he had a great stream today and enjoyed that book showing some of the old labels on the scotches that he had pulled up. I was really into that. I thought that was a great little something to have to see what the labels looked like 30, 40, 50 years ago or more. From the one I liked was I think it was Oban, and it was a diamond shape, if I remember correctly. And I thought, wow, they're neat. They don't use that now, but if you were a person that was going out and collecting old bottles of whiskey, that I think it was a PDF he had, and I don't know where he found it, but it was nice. And as he was leafing through it, I was looking at the different pictures, but it also talked about different distilleries. Some didn't have a picture, but like Speyburn, it was on there, and just recognized it. And there's just a lot of nice information in there that he had. I thought it was neat. Let's get my update here. Most of the rain falling in Colorado River Basin would be useful, but the storm track keeps getting revised to show the eye passing more towards the west. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying. It looks like we're just going to be on the outer edges of it, and it's going to kind of stay over to the California side of us, creep up past us, and then kind of cut in and head up towards Ely and then shoot over that way. But who knows? Anything could happen. Things can change, and who knows what it's going to be like when I get up tomorrow. That's for sure. Anyway, hey, there he is. Cheers, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sorry about popping in and out there, but I tried to get back on, Mike, but darn internet just was not cooperating and didn't make sense. But it's just how it goes from time to time. But cheers, man. Hey, Nick, great to see you, man. Glad to see that you are still up. I sure hope you made them grilled cheese, because if you don't feed that woman, she is not going to be happy. Looky here, Shredward. Cheers, brother. Thank you for popping in here. I haven't seen you in a bit. And then there he is, Mr. Cloud. Cheers, man. Thank you for coming on over here. Appreciate it. Here we go. Tommy D. Tommy D. What is up? 20 days on with COVID. Taste buds just starting to come back. I feel lucky. Wow. I think you're probably the longest COVID case I've heard of in a while. Really, I have 21 days. Wow. Well, man, I hope that I hope everything really does stay on the mends for you, because when you don't have that taste, even though you're hungry, things just aren't appealing. That's for sure. Just not. Oh, yes. Do not like them night shifts, Chris. That's for sure. But hey, appreciate you popping in. And Lil, always great to see you guys. Hey, John. Cheers, man. Yes. Oh, it's all good, man. It's all good. Things are looking up here. It looks like we're gonna miss everything. It's gonna stay more towards the California side, Barstow, and then kind of creep up to the north and then head northeast. So should be pretty much good. Would you take a big peat mix with a Talisker, or drink it separately to compare? Also, if a sherry bomb gets added, I swear the bacon notes happen. So it's funny you should mention drinking something with peat and then going after something that has sherry. That came up in a conversation just out of the blue about a week ago. I haven't tried that, but I may do that tonight. I'm not sure. Just may do that tonight. But that's funny you mentioned that. Man, that is just such a coincidence. But I don't even know how I got on that topic or how it started. But anyway, someone mentioned that if you drink something real peaty and then grab something else to compare it to, but more on the sherry-esque side, or just a total sherry bomb, and people talked about how that peat really brings out a really nice bacony flavor. I don't know. I don't ever recall getting that out of there. I've gotten real rich barbecue, meaty type of a smoke from peat, and I'm going to just mention Ardbeg. And wow, that is just like a barbecue in there, especially the Anoa, or Ano, some people call it. That is like barbecue in a glass with that Ardbeg. Absolutely delicious. Hey, Amy Bone, cheers. Really great seeing you here. Appreciate it. How can that be, Amy? Honestly, how can that be? I'm telling you, not a subscriber, but appreciate it, appreciate it, appreciate it. It's a heat wave in North Cal, no hurricane. Weird. I look, that's like here. They rang that bell, they hit that gong, they told us it was coming. Where I was up north, it was definitely rainier. And then on the way home, once I got, I'm going to say, mm, 55 miles, 60 miles south, closer to Vegas, it just started getting lighter and lighter and lighter on the rain. And then once I got about 20 miles from Vegas and the 15, just north of the Speedway, nothing. Just a light mist, enough that would just make you mad. You know, if you had to putz with that. Hey, Bourbon, cheers. Great having you. Great having you. Thank you for staying up. I know it's late on the East Coast, but really appreciate you. Everybody just popping in, saying hello and cheers, and that's really great. And then here is another one. There is another one. It's kind of disconnecting to have a hurricane headed to California instead of here in North Carolina. Well, you know what? I think they said it was 85 years ago the last hurricane or storm really hit California, and where it came up or how it came up. I don't know the whole story, but it's like, holy smokes, you know, it just happens. But like I said, right now here in Vegas, it's it's kind of calm now. It was raining when just before I started the stream, and just when I was the first 5 or so 10 minutes into the stream, I wasn't sure if anyone could hear it, but it just then stops and it gets just calm and quiet. There's just a slight breeze out there. You know, it's kind of eerie, weird, whatever you want to call it, when you're sitting out there. And I was sitting out there just before the stream as it was raining, listening to it beat on my aluminum awning that I have for a patio cover. Hey, Mark, cheers, man. Great to see you here. Thank you for stopping in. Always great to have you here. Oops. Here we go. You can find that book along with a few others just on the internet. Okay, just need to sign up for a free account. Okay, well, perfect. Thanks, man. I'm going to have to remember that and save that. If not, I'll just call you and have you send me or text me the link or whatever the case may be. But honestly, people, that's the book that he was paging through. And I'll leave that up there a minute so you all can see that. But it was an interesting pamphlet in PDF form that talked about all these brands of scotches or whiskeys and the label, what it looked like, and just a description of what their notes were on there. Just if you're somebody that's into collecting, you know, especially older bottles, that link that he has up there, I would tell you to go ahead and look at that. I'm just leaving it up there another minute before I move on. But man, that thing it was great. I enjoyed that a lot. So thanks, Jim, for actually doing that and putting that up there, because it was a wealth of information. And like I said, I just loved looking at those old labels that were on there. Just a slight sprinkle up here in the Bay Area. Hilary can't handle it this far north. Well, apparently she can't handle much anymore because she's about died out over here. Like I said, we're just getting the bands from it from time to time, but nothing exciting. Hey, Kathy, cheers. Can't sleep listening in? Well, I tell you what, sometimes this can get pretty boring and it will put anybody to sleep, but really appreciate you being here. Thank you very much. We're just, you know, keeping an eye out on things here, seeing how things go for the tropical storm that supposedly is going to blow through here, but I don't think we're going to get much of anything to talk about here in Vegas other than what could have happened but didn't. That's for sure. And look at this. Wow. Jeffrey Whack, everybody. If he's up and he's here, man, it is something else. Really appreciate you, brother. Thank you for popping in. Always great to have you here, man. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. And Here we go. Yes, you're still alive, and my studio survived up to now. You know, that's funny. I thought about that earlier. You and your tent back there, and has it been pretty much a steady rain for you, Vic? Has the rain subsided or windy at all? You know, wondering just how things are going. Blends with intellectual property one day. Look, all people have to do is suggest a topic, and who knows what will happen. Who knows? Sorry, just trying to see where I am in chat. The thing popped up real quick and started to move. It's like, here we go. I apologize. Here we go. New subscriber. Jasalis in Boston. As a new subscriber, I have carried the like. I have carried the like button, pop the subscribe button, and hang on here at 12 a.m. Fading. Thanks for the content and stream. You know what? I have a lot of people on the East Coast that pop in here for 5 or 10 minutes or a half hour just before they stroll into bed. But I appreciate everybody that pops on here. And just so you know, there are times I do a special stream just for East Coast people. I will go on at 4 in the afternoon, my time here in Las Vegas. And of course, 7 p.m. your time. So you can watch the stream and relax without having to worry about getting up in 5 or 6 hours to get ready for work. Me, I wish I had 6 hours before I get up to go to work. I don't because of this stream sometimes. But appreciate it. Thank you for subscribing. Always appreciate it. Here we go. Book title was That's it. Malt Whiskey Almanac. I knew it was Malt Whiskey something, but I couldn't remember it. I didn't remember the almanac thing. Okay. Perfect. Yep, it is weird. Tropical storm instead of monsoon, because this is our monsoon season and we're starting to wind down. But you know, the amount of rain that we had here, well, what I'm saying is the amount of rain that we had here was perfect. Even though it came down hard at times, the ground was able to absorb it. Things ran off the way they were supposed to, went into the storm drains, and then out into the washes. And as far as I know, there has been no big flooding issues during any of the rain events we've had so far here in Vegas. It's been okay. It's been okay. Let's see here. If a tropical storm hits Vegas and I'm there, yeah, come on over. I have just what everybody possibly needs and then some, although I did clean the floor up. So some of the whiskey that was piled around me has found a home. But the problem that with everybody knows, if you have floor whiskey and you start to put it on the shelves, you end up pulling other things off. So yes, you make headway on one spot, but then the stuff that came off the shelf kind of occupies that spot or another spot. So you really didn't move forward. You kind of just held the line. But I'm getting there. I am getting there. And I was actually thought I had another Talisker back in there, but I might have been mistaken, or I had went through that one already and this was the backup. But anyway, speaking of that, let me take a little sip of this Talisker. I sure hope you guys have something that you're sipping on that commemorates this, what was supposed to be a very unusual weather event here in Vegas. So I'm going to take a sip of my Talisker Storm, which isn't the first time I have sipped this, that's for sure. But let me say this. God, that peat is so good. That's not what I wanted to say, but I really like, and I've said this thousands of times about Scotch, that malty sweetness you get on the nose. And when I was sipping that Johnny Walker celebratory blend earlier this evening, and I had some while I was on Livewire whiskey, I was just hooked on that nice, rich, malty sweetness in that dram as I was just sitting there and swirling that thing under my nose and just smelling that. And it's 51 ABV, and man, it's just rich and viscous and sweet. And no, there is no peat on that. This is peaty. It's sweet. It's salty. It's smoky deliciousness. And this is 45, if I remember right. Yes, 45.8 ABV on this Talisker Storm. And it's an NAS for non-age stated, if those of you don't know. But I picked this thing up for like 35 bucks. Try to buy it now for, I think they're around $60 for a Talisker Storm. Mid 50s, 60s, somewhere in there. The price on it has really jumped up, but I just happened to go in when they had it on special, and I had a coupon for a couple more bucks off. So yeah, I could not pass that up at all. Honestly, it was really, really a very good buy. Really a good buy. No way I was gonna miss that. No, no, no. All right. Let me just pop this up. Then we got Bourbon Baller here saying cheers to Richie. I thought I saw your name fly by me here as the chat just takes off. But always great to see you here. But this Talisker has always been one of my favorite just go-to type sipping whiskeys. I really enjoy how that briny sweetness combines with the peat on there. And at 54, at 45 ABV, 0.8, I just don't understand when you see that on some bottles, 46.1, 48.2, in this case, 45.8. Really, you just couldn't round it up to 46 ABV, but hey, maybe that's the sweet spot for it. I don't know, but I'm telling you what, very, very good dram, very, very good drop for the money. When you're getting into that $60+ range, though, I don't know. Storm is 40, Dark Storm is 60. Gonna have to get a couple. Well, at that price, at 40 bucks, yeah. Like I said, I was lucky and got this under 40 out the door, Mr. Jiggs. And you know what? Now I've refreshed my memory. The backup is the one I got that's 35 bucks out the door. But the price on these things have really jumped up to the point where it makes you go, are you kidding me? Really? But So kind of a sidetrack thing. Not really a sidetrack thing, but off the topic subject. I was watching another YouTuber this morning while I was having my coffee, the Spurgeon Piper, and he does pipe tobacco reviews. And he has recently had to change his format because of YouTube is basically put your hand out and smack at him because he smokes a pipe during his reviews to let his viewers know what that particular blend is like. And so he's recently stopped doing that and just doing verbal reviews. Now, I understand that you do not want to, let's just say, appeal to the wrong audience. Well, that's why I always say, one, drink responsibly, but it's 21 plus. And all mine, I check, yeah, they are not for kids. But my thing is why is YouTube really starting to get to pick and choose on some of this censorship stuff? It's getting to the point where it's becoming a little redonkulous, let's say. And that's why a lot of people are changing their styles, I've noticed, on a few things. And he is just one of the most recent ones I have noticed. And I wonder, how long is it going to take before whiskey tubers start to experience some of the YouTube backlash against what we do or what we talk about live or video? I don't know, but I think it's getting to the point where it's starting to get a little redonkulous. But I'm going to get off that box a little bit here and just digress. But it's a shame because he's a good person, has a nice channel, does great reviews. I enjoy watching him. But could you see that YouTube doing that to Whiskey Tube and saying, well, you can't review a dram if you're actually going to drink it? What? Yeah. Sorry. But it's just ridiculous. Ridiculous. And like I said, I understand the part about making sure you appeal to the right audience. However, what stops that audience from lying? Again, let me just step down off of this crate and step back, because boy, I am sure we could really, how do I say this, have a discussion on this. I mean, this would be one of those things that could just grow legs and keep going, because there are other reviewers of spirits, of tobacco, of other things that are feeling, let's say, the heat of YouTube and censorship. That's what it comes down to. So anyway, it's absolutely ridiculous what's happening. Tobacco would totally change a whiskey palate for me. And you know what? Let me say this. I agree with you. However, for me, if I'm having a pipe, certain whiskeys actually complement that tobacco. And for instance, one I had just recently reviewed, I can't believe I don't have one at my hand here. Hold on. Is this it here? Is this it here? Bingo. This one. What I have found when I reviewed that was that a nice peated scotch accented the smokiness of the Latakia that's in there and the sweetness of the Virginias. So the pairing went well with that particular blend and a whiskey. I've had a couple that the whiskey just didn't seem to cut the rug, but a cup of coffee did. Or an unsweetened tea. Something about the tannins in that tea kind of refreshed the palate, and the flavors in the tobacco popped out. So, to each his own, that's for sure. To each his own. There are a lot of other formats. YouTube doesn't rule everything. Absolutely right, Bourbon Baller. Absolutely right. And one of the other formats that I choose to go to from time to time is a place called the Pipe Cottage. And basically, what it is it's a platform for people who like whiskey, tobacco, hiking, camping, or whatever to share what they like without that type of censorship. So you're right. There are other platforms out there, and YouTube eventually will feel it down the road because people will leave in order to get their message out. And yeah, yep, exactly. And if you're not into tobaccos, that's fine. But I just had this conversation with Mark, Northwest Bourbon. We had a quick conversation this weekend about Scotch, and I was giving him my opinion on a couple of Scotches, and I'm not going to reveal which one he got because I know he wants to enjoy it, one with me or on one of his streams. But I explained to him some of the little differences in peat levels to entry level to medium to, hey, this is going to knock a tooth out or two. That's the type of peat that's in it. And then this goes great with a steak. This goes great with that. Just some things because truthfully, it does. It's like a wine. Certain wines go great with let's just say cheese. Others go great with fish, chicken, beef. Once you learn how to pair that and take those flavors and bring them together, it's a whole new world. I agree. Censorship is overreaching. Not a fan of taking freedom from people. I agree too. Absolutely. I love tobacco notes and bourbon. Well, I don't always get those. I really truthfully don't, Richie. And not that I don't search for them. Maybe I just don't understand that in there. Honestly, I don't. I get leathers, leathers. I get leather. I understand that taste on my palate. I do understand how do I say this? Well, I just guess I've never really had something that popped into my head and go, oh, that's a tobacco note. But like anything else, I'm still going on. I'm still learning on it. That's for sure. It is pretty rare. It is pretty rare. And that was the next thing I was going to say when I looked down at the chat. But yeah, absolutely. Donald Ranch, cheers, brother. Let me just raise a glass to one of our favorite Canadians. Cheers, brother. Nice to see you this evening. Mm. God, that's good. Maybe 45.8 is the sweet spot, really. Okay. I can understand that. Maybe it's because I just haven't had very old bourbon. That's for sure. It might be a factor in char. Well, yep. And like you said, older bourbon, James. But now, remember on that Offerman, the charred oak edition, I certainly was not a fan of that in the beginning. But I paired that too with this particular tobacco because of the heavy char and the smokiness on that particular one, the Lagavulin Offerman charred oak. And it went extremely well with this one, extremely well with this, James. So I was like, holy smokes. So there was some hope for me in that particular bottle. Yes, sir. I did say Pete, and I knew you would hear. I knew you would hear it. And that's why I'm drinking a little Talisker Storm here tonight, as not a drop of rain is falling, but it is so quiet out there. It's like you drop a pin on the street and I could hear it here. It's kind of weird. I mean, it's just quiet. Not even a damn dog is barking out there. Nothing. Not a thing. Oh, speaking of Canadians, cheers, Ben. There you go. Censorship for concerning adults. There you go. That's it. I totally get it. Totally get it. That's for sure. Let me pop that off. But I just can't stop smelling a good malted whiskey, particularly this Talisker. But like I said, that celebratory blend was really rocking it earlier today. Really was wonderful. Do any of you have that? I know Ken has it, but does anyone else have that celebratory blend by Johnny Walker? Have you? If not, have you even tried that thing? It is amazing. It is amazing. Well, I said that too. It's the calm before the storm. And the bulk of the storm is, or what was the bulk of the storm, was supposed to come through this way after 11 p.m. tonight. And a lot of the stuff that's supposed to happen even now is going to happen from about that time to 5 a.m., 6 a.m. So we'll see. I'll be at work at 5 a.m. I'll already be there. So we'll see how that rolls. We will see how that rolls. You have never had the celebratory blend from Johnny Walker? Wow. Right now, I'm still seeing it for about between 85 and 95 bucks a bottle. You have to look. It's not everywhere anymore. It's not everywhere anymore. But I will say this, if you find it, it's definitely worth buying. Definitely worth buying. If only Diageo would bring more Walker out like that. It is. It is an exceptional blended whiskey. Truthfully is an exceptional blended whiskey. And that box, the artwork inside that box when you open up that box it's really nice. And the label is the original slanted label. Sorry, it's slanted. It's not wrapped normally like we see it. It's tilted. But really, it is a great one. And yes, you need to look for it. It is delicious. It really is. You'll like it. And it's something that you'll want to be that occasional Friday night sipper where you just want something that's just plain good for a certain moment in time, because it is easily crushable. Absolutely is. And that 51 ABV is excellent for that. Excellent. Yes, you can. Absolutely, you can. And you can also try those other 4 bottles I got sitting back here with your name on it. Absolutely, you can. And Vic, sorry, salivating. There'll be another bottle there you're going to try where my hand is. Been saving that one right there. Oops. That one there that's still covered up. So whoever's there that night, whatever night it is I happen to show up, afternoon, morning, whatever the hell it'll be, that thing is getting opened. That is getting opened. Anyway, let's just sit here and relax. You know what I noticed I did not do, and I don't know why. Hold on. Let me fix something here. Here we go. Okay. There we go. All right. Wow, Nick's still up. Always good. Well, you know what? Let's see. I think Nick and I are still on the same time zone right now. It's almost 10 o'clock for him. We change here, and where are we at? September, October. Give it. When heck, I even forget when we have to change those clocks. I hate changing those clocks. It's so stupid anymore. I mean, some states here do it, some states don't do it. What a pain. What a pain. But anyhow, well, so much for a watch party for a storm that's really not going to be. And for the most part, I'm glad, but I know there are people in California where it's really raining there, or has rained and has caused them some grief. And in certain areas, if they do get a lot of rain, with in the past years where they've had a lot of fires, the ground is still a little unsettled and hasn't really had a chance for vegetation to grow. So it could cause them some issues. So I really, really hope that nothing like that happens. Here we go. Okay, so you are an hour ahead. That's what I can't remember. I was like, are you on our time zone, or you have no? You are in a different time zone. I forgot where the cutoff is on there, but you are in a different time zone. See, you guys in Utah are in a just in a different world when you do that. But it's just weird. Oh, dude, you're I'm telling you, it is so good. It is so good. That'd be your perfect nightcap before you just tuck yourself in. I'm probably going to pour myself another Talisker if I don't talk myself into that Johnny Walker, or go to a Oban Little Bay, or Twin Foxes, Oban Twin Foxes. Oh, yeah, I have not had that in a moment. Yes, that would be so good. There's a quarter bottle left. It's the nightcap. There you go. There you go. I mean, that is a terrific drop. I know I've said it more than 6 or 8 times here during the stream, but it really is. And Ken told me a while ago I had to pick up a bottle, and I did. I picked it up as soon as I had seen it, and I found it in Arizona because I couldn't find it here in Vegas. But it is a good drop. That's for sure. You think so? I mean, it very well could be. I don't know. I have not had enough Colila to go, oh yeah, that's the flavor profile that is synonymous with Colila. So I haven't had enough to go, that's it. One of these days I'm gonna, get a bottle of it and go from there. But see, I don't get that out of that bottle. I don't get that at all out of that bottle. And other people have said that, and I don't say it because I don't get it. And I'm a peat monster, but I don't get that out of there. Now, where I do get a hint of peat from a Johnny Walker, and I was talking to Mark about this one from Mark Northwest Bourbon, was this one. I will get a little hint of peat on this one because of the link with the Talisker, Correggamore. Of course, Colila is in here, but this one I do get a subtle little wisp, and mostly on the retro hail on this. But this is another good one, and this is the one I was telling Mark that definitely add to his repertoire of scotches, especially at a $65 price point. And I can get it here for about $60 out the door. It just depends. It'll hover up a few dollars or below 60 of just a few dollars, but $60 is the market. And for this, it's a good price. It's a good price, without a doubt. But I do get, like I said, I do get that wisp of peat off of that one, but not. I was going to say, where is it? Here it is. It's like, I know it's here. Floor whiskey, I told you. But I don't get the peat off of this one. I don't get it. But you're not the only one to mention it, Richie. But maybe it's because of the amount of peat I can drink or do drink. It's just not there to me. And if you're not a regular peat drinker, it might be easier for you to pull that out. I went with the Port Richie and a little Black Bull 8-year. No complaints to get extra toffee. Okay. Well, I did the Black Bull 12-year. And I tell you what, I was impressed with that one when I reviewed that. Good stuff. And they should. They do it well. They do it very well, that's for sure. Are you talking about this one? Or are you talking about the 15, Donald? Sorry. I kind of went from topic A to topic B to butter and eggs, But I like either one. Oh, yeah. I'm sure they are. I'm sure they are. I mean, somebody's got to supply it. Yeah, it's you can't go wrong with that 15-year-old. And if you're on base and one of these pop up, just go ahead and lay that dead president down there and walk out with it. because you won't be disappointed in this. This you will not be disappointed in. And I can appreciate that, Richie. Yeah, particularly if you were a fan of bourbon before you got into Scotch whiskey. And for me, it was the other way around. But I walked away from both for 20 plus years, other than the occasional dram here or there in the time. And when I started back into the bourbon world, then certain things got hard to find in the bourbon world. And I just turned around and looked at the aisle behind me, which was Scotch. I went back to something that I knew, and well, another rabbit hole. We all go down them from time to time. That's right. Please smash that like button. If you are here just watching, if you're new, hit that subscribe, click on that bell to get notifications. Always appreciate that. Thank you, sir. It does smell awesome. It has a great nose. It's rich smelling, sweet, that maltiness. I'm saying I can hold that under my nose and just inhale that. It is, to me, it is just divine. Just divine. Oh. Gotcha. Sorry. I thought you were talking about in your whiskey journey that you started in the bourbon world and then moved over into Scotch. Got it. Well, see, I didn't. I had no bourbon before this. It was Scotch. Because I thought about a few things because I was going through putting stuff up on the shelf and rearranging some stuff. I found a few things and went, ooh, I haven't had that in a while. But then I said, no, if I have anything, I'm going to have a Scotch. Either it's going to be peated or not peated. So I decided on the not peated. And then I said, well, you know what? Let me pull out this Johnny Walker, and the rest is history. The rest is history. Booker's. Who drinks Booker's? That overpriced horse piss? Are you kidding me? I'm kidding, Doc. Swear. About a week ago, I had a pour of Tagalong. Killed the bottle at a place we had a little happy hour after work. It was definitely overpriced, but I actually liked the Tagalong. And it's one of the few Bookers that I can actually tell you, I go, oh my gosh, that is so good. But anyway, kidding about the horse piss thing. As the three bourbons had before it. Well, yes, that has a tendency to do that. That's for sure. I've got my Bookers still. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me think. There's 5 of them up there, and one's a little book, and I haven't cracked them, and I've even forgot what in the heck they are because I've actually had samples of them sent to me. So I thought, they're all right. It's good, but I never crack the ones I got. Hey, Tater Dom, man, cheers. So, Dom, did that package get to you? Because if not, I've got to look into that because it should have gotten to you already. Should not have been a weather delay. Yes, we are drinking scotch, Tater Dom, but you know what I say? Pour whatever you want in your glass. Bourbon, scotch, rye, coffee, orange juice, no vodka, because as Fred Minnick says, vodka sucks. Unless it's for hand sanitizer. Then there you go. Oops. Saying hello to Tater Dom. I'm glad that he had popped in here. Yeah, I'm going to check too because I know that went into the mail on Saturday. This past, not as in like this Saturday, as in yesterday, as in last week, Saturday. So you should have got it unless somehow it really went like snail mail. That's for sure. But you should have had it because I packaged that thing up and the wife took it to the post office because she had stuff she was mailing out. So anyway, yeah, you got my email. So let me know because if not, then I'll have to get you another package out because I've got them ready. They're here to go. So it's not like I don't have one or two more to send out. And sorry, I found those on the floor. So I didn't even know they were here. Didn't even know they were here. I finished a Stag Junior and now a perfect grilled cheese. How did I know? How did I know? And it is it the craft singles on there, Adriana? Oh, look, you know she will. There is no doubt about it. Yeah, I guarantee you there's no Asiago or anything like that on her grilled cheese. It is American cheese between two slices of bread and no frou-frou stuff on it. She wants an honest grilled cheese sandwich. All right. Mm-mm-mm. What did I say? What did I say? Exactly, Mark. Exactly, Mark. When you have an executive chef at your beck and call, that's all I'm going to say. I don't have to add any more to it. You all just fill in the blank there. I know I'm not a bit hungry, but now, guess what I want? Really? It's like, it's just ridiculous. That's what she likes, Mark. I know. I'm. It's probably Velveeta. Sorry, Adriana. I didn't mean to laugh out loud, but uh, all right, Mark. Thank you for popping on. I'm going to make myself one last pour here, a nightcap, and I think I'm going to stick with something peaty for sure. But I've got a little swig left here. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Being here, let me this is for Doc. Hydration. And Doc, I've already finished one of these. This is the second one. Hydration is important, and if I don't hydrate, I won't hear the end of it. So let me reach down here. Apologize for turning my back on you. Let me reach down here. Oh my gosh. Yes, I'm going for Ardbeg. Yes, I am. And I'm going to open this bottle up. It's not that it's a fresh crack. It's just a pain to get in and out. But here we go. The barbecue. We are going for it right here. And I got this because you can get a bottle of it for the same price as this, but it didn't have this tube. I wanted the tube. I just think it's nice. This is going to be my nightcap pour. But holy smokes. I forgot it was 4 bottles back. But that's how it goes. It is, Doc. I'm telling you. So like I said, I could have bought just the bottle without that tube. But I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. And there's an actual tin that you can put wood chips in and put it in your grill. And it will smoke, whatever you got on the grill. I'm not using it for that, but it is in there. Sorry, it was a little loud, but yeah, this is something to open. But here it is. I'm getting it out here now. But there's the top part of the smoker that comes. That's why they call it the barbecue. And here is the bottom part that sits like so. Here it is. Like I said, you put your wood chips inside there, put them on, set it in your grill, and then, of course, what does it do? It smokes. Exactly. This is for Marty, being that he's under the weather. So I poured it in his Golden Glen that he sent me out of the blue one day. It just showed up, and it's like, okay, so Marty may not be here with us in person, but his Glen is. So we're thinking about him. Hope he's getting better. But anyway, yeah, like I said, there's just so many pieces and parts to this particular one. I don't always go to it. I really do like it, but it saves me from going to it so much. But this is nice. This is 46.6 ABV. So I'm jumping up a little bit over a point, but in peat, this is a monster when it comes to that. A true barbecue, just thick, meaty peat. I know, Adriana, it's your favorite. It is fancy. It is fancy. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's delicious. Put that back in here. But now I got to put it back together. But thank goodness I've done it up. And when I take it apart, I layer it, as in the last thing out is on top. Then I start putting this thing back together because, oh, yeah. So let me see. This goes here. This goes here. I mean, you get your work out putting this thing together. There we go. And then this goes here. But it is a great tube. They're still out there if you look. You can still find them in this tube. They're there. They're just not all over the place anymore. But now I don't care if I get another tube. When I get another replacement bottle, I'll just drop it in this tube. Well, maybe I won't because I really don't want to have to go through taking it in and out anymore. But you get the gist of it. I don't need another tube. I'll keep this one. So pardon me for turning my back. Put that back on the shelf there because if I don't, I end up finding other things to go there, and then I get more floor whiskey, and I'm trying to avoid that. There we go. Oh, alrighty. No, I'm not doing my Matt McConaughey impression. Oh, man, that peat just smacks you. Wonderful. Yeah, I hope he is. I know he's getting a little better because, like I said, he popped in on his stream on Friday and chatted with people for a bit in chat, not live. So he's doing good. Yes, that is true. Oh, Marty's under the weather. That COVID thing. Somehow he managed to find that, but he's doing good. Pretty much, yes. Every Ardbeg I've had is good. Pretty much everyone I've had. Oh, that is a good one. Yeah, I mean, some people like it. I like it. I think it's good, and I've never bought a backup because let me just say this. I think it's good. I have it. It's still out there, so I don't care to get, like I said, that tube. But it wasn't one of those things where I get it and go, oh my gosh, within a few hours of having 2 or 3 drams, I'm at the bottle shop getting another bottle of it. Now, I've only done that once, and that was with the Lagavulin Offerman edition, the Guinness cask finish. Yeah, that one, once I opened it and had 2 or 3 pours out of it, yeah, I had to go back and get that last bottle on the shelf, and thank goodness I did. Oh, that malty sweetness with that nice, ashy, smoky. Oh, God, that's so good. Oh, man. Cheers, everyone. And to Marty. Mm. Definitely a huge step up in peat from Talisker, although Talisker Storm does have some peat to it. I mean, it is not light, but go from that to this, And there's a difference. Proof from 45 to 45.8 to 46, let's just say 46.8 or whatever it was. I mean, you're talking a hair over a point. Yeah. But as far as peat goes, yeah, it's definitely different. Oh, man. But I will say this. The Talisker had a little more brine to it than this does for me. I mean, I notice it in the Talisker. You get that in there. That's part of it. It has more to me than the Ardbeg. However, I think maybe because of the peat level in this as compared to Talisker, the peat drowns that out a little bit, which either way doesn't bother me. I do like the salty sweetness with the peat, but I have no problem in sipping on this. And as a matter of fact, I have in my head now after I've had this, thinking about a particular pipe tobacco blend. I'm like, this might go good with that. So stay tuned for a future episode of Spirits and Leaf. And if this one works out with what I think it was as well, then you know what? There'll be another episode of Spirits and Leaf come out. It's like, But anyway. Well, you know what? I know a lot of people that love the Wee Beastie over the 10. And I'm like, my opinion is why? But, you know, and it comes out that way. And I don't mean to be rude or anything like that. But when somebody says, oh, yeah, I like Wee Beastie better than Ardbeg 10, it's like, why? How? It's a natural progression up to the 10 from the 5, because the 5 is like, if you like the 5, you're going to just die for the 10. But the 10 doesn't float their boat. But I can't help when I heard it just to go, why don't you like the 10? If you like the 5, why don't you have some just has a little more octane, a little more sweetness, a little more peat, deliciousness? But neither here nor there. To each his own. Well, I'll tell you what, when you get it, you're not going to have a problem with it. I guarantee it. Oh, yeah. That's what I said. There's no doubt about it. And the saltiness as compared to Talisker, I don't get that on the Ardbeg. But the Talisker, it's the sweet, the peat, the salt, the briny-ish. Yeah, it's very good. Very, very good. Love it. Yes, Ben. Pay attention to James. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. But you know what? Your profile, your palate just might, something that's in that Wee Beastie just makes your foot tap compared to the 10. And that's fine. You know, it's twice the age at least of the Wee Beastie. Well, you know what? That Log 8, I actually have that, you know. But I certainly didn't pay that outrageous price that the 8 is going for, when, hell, for $5 more, you might as well get the 16, because trust me, you're getting a way better Lagavulin. But when I bought my 8, I don't think I paid $40 out the door for it. Where at the time, The 16 Lagavulin was like, I don't know, $60, $65. But yet the 8 was like $5 less. And it still is almost that way today. But please, no, absolutely not. It's a $40 bottle of booze, period. It's nice. I've got it on the shelf. It's nice, but definitely not at a Lagavulin 16 price, and especially $5. Yeah, leave that shit on the shelf. Go with the 16. You will be much more happier. Double the age, double the goodness. Exactly. Oh, delicious. I'm sorry, but this is good. Mm-mm-mm. Well, if you can find a 12, good luck. But the 16 is the one that's readily available. Well, I do have a 12. I have a Lion's Fire. And the current Lion's Fire that's out now here is like $155, $160 a bottle. I like it, but not quite at that price. I think it's getting to the point where the current special release Lagavulin in the 12 is getting overpriced. Let's just say at $160 for the bottle. No, you definitely want to shop around and try to stay south of 150 on that bottle, especially the new limited release. I have the Lagavulin 9, the Game of Thrones. That's down there too. So I had the 8, 9, 11, 16, or 8, 9, 11, 12, and 16 in the Lagavulin. The 12 is the Lion's Fire. 16, of course, is the quintessential Lagavulin that everybody should have on their shelf, my opinion. If you don't like peat, then yeah, you won't have that on your shelf. But oh my gosh, it's delicious. Oh, yes. I have a distiller's edition down there. Um, I don't remember the year. 21? 20? No, I don't think it's 2020. I would have remembered that. But anyway, yeah, that 12-year special release though. That's what it is. It's not just a 12-year. It's like the Lions Fire. I think they call it the Phoenix this year. There we go. So this is last year's special release. 20. Well, actually, that's a lie. This is 2021. So, but this year's, I think, is the Phoenix, and yeah, I think that's what they call it, the Phoenix. I'm thinking, like, what was it called? Is it the Phoenix? Yes. But anyway, so this is the 12, and this is the Lion's Fire, and it comes in. I think it's 56 0.5. God, we're getting a lot of these point something ABVs here. I'm just picking them up at random. But this is the Lions Fire. And this is such a good drop. And I think out the door, I was at $1.50, maybe $1.55 out the door. But now they're $1.60 in your hand before you get to the checkout. So yeah, no. I would definitely have to have a dram of that Phoenix, this year's special release, before I would lay down that $160. I mean, could you imagine Ken getting this year's release? Because if I'm paying $160, easy, probably $320, $350, if not more for him. Yeah, he'd be like me. I want to taste that thing first before I, lop off a hand or a foot or something like that for it. You take that off there. Sorry. 11-year Offerman, yeah. The Guinness cask is phenomenal. The charred oak finally grew on me. If we're back into that conversation, it finally grew on me now that it's opened up, and I paired it with this last week during that storm fiasco that rolled in on Sunday and messed me up. But anyhow, really worked well with that particular one. Oh, they're redonkulous with their prices. Redonkulous anymore with the prices. Band-Aid? What the hell are you talking about? Band-Aid? There is no Band-Aids in this. This is not Lafroig. But you're talking about medicinal peat. No. I mean, now that you're making me think about it on this one, maybe just a tad on the medicinal side, but that's only on the retrohale, and it's very, very late in the finish. Very late in the finish, but no, it's not Lafroig. It's not, as like Bourbon would say, Band-Aids into hate. Yeah, no. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Yes, true, but they're making stuff like this. I can't quite shy away from it. Oh yes, they're absolutely right, Donald. Absolutely right. There, I cannot argue with truth. No way. Mm-mm. Exactly. Dive in and enjoy. And the pocketbook sometimes, James, depending upon the bottle you buy. I'm probably going to have to hand deliver him some samples of peated whiskeys, James, to help him on his journey. What do you think? I think that would help. A lot of people say that about Lafroig, But you know what? I don't get that anymore. Once you acquire that peat, yes. Well, you know what? It is potent. There's nothing like Lafroig. There isn't, and I say that to everybody. I say when that hits you, it's going to break your teeth out. It's that forward on peat. But once, like you, once you get that peat taste, you know it, you love it. They're that huge. And like I said, when they make stuff like this and they put it out, I can't say no at at that price. I just can't. There you go. There you go. I don't think he has given him his royal warrant either. It is different. There's no doubt about that. There's no one here that will say that it certainly isn't different. Mm. Mm-mm. Well, I can say that the last 30 minutes here, listening outside, watching different things between the monitors about the storm, has been very lackluster. But it is let me get this out. It is still eerie and quiet outside. Yeah, very odd. But as far as on the weather front goes, I don't even think the wind is blowing anymore. It's like I said, the window's open, but uh, other than an occasional car going by, yeah, there's nothing happening here. Nothing. Probably, James. But anyway, I'm going to end the stream here and wish you all a great night and say thank you for popping in here and spending a little time with me. Well, it's about darn time. He probably did and woke himself up too. But I'm going to end it here. Relax, finish this dram, and unfortunately, wasn't quite the Tropical Storm Hilary watch party slash event that everyone thought it was going to be. Oh well, it gave me a topic for tonight. I got to sit here and drink some Talisker Storm and then a little Ardbeg NO and chat with you all. So, cheers, everybody. Thank you for popping in here this evening. Thank you to all my friends across the pond and then down under there in the land of Oz. And, oh, can't forget New Zealand. Cannot forget them, people. Really appreciate you all for taking the time out of your busy schedule because it's daylight over there and you're doing that W thing or you're winding down, I got to get ready to do that W thing. So, cheers, everybody. Appreciate you. Thank you for stopping in again. Look forward to seeing you all next week. Have a great week. Cheers.